Hi, everybody. Welcome to the UK. Not welcome to the UK, but if you're in the UK, welcome. And if you're in the States, welcome. And if you're watching on Catch Up, welcome. I'm Amanda from Kitty City, and I'm a clinical feline behaviourist. And I'm hoping that people will be here tonight to ask me any questions. And if you're all watching the football tonight, then don't worry, you can ask a question on Catch Up in the comments below. And I do normally get round to answering them. And I don't know whether you can see, if I move that way, there's a very, very hot Hugo lying up there. And I'm hoping he's going to behave later, actually, because I want to show you some different things that you can do when it comes to medicating your cat. So I'm just trying to get him in. There you can look at him as well as me then. So if I move that way, there you go. You can see Hugo. One thing I wanted to talk about tonight is that obviously the summer has landed. So last time on Cat Chat, my nose was running, it was that cold. And now today it's 26 degrees, 27, 29 tomorrow. So really got to get used to this heat. And the cats, as you can see, really suffer with heat. So it's really, really important that your cats are kept cool. So think about ways that you can keep them cool. Okay, so I've got some great ideas. Hi, we join from the USA. Have you got great weather in the USA? Hi, Anna Maxa. I think you came last time. So tell me where you're from and tell me how many cats you've got and what their names are. And then I will actually get to know you as well. So going back to different ways you can keep cool cats. No, that way. Firstly, have a fan. I've got a fan blowing on me here that's keeping me nice and cool, and it's keeping the temperature a little bit cooler. We don't have air conditioning routinely here like you do in the States, so everything's very, very hot and humid. So one great thing you can do is water play. Oh wow. Oh, you're from India, so you're going to have really hot humid weather then. What about a kiddie pool? Now, if you've seen any of my videos before, this is a purpose kiddie pool, and it comes with little things, flotation things like this you can pop on. So you don't have to have one of these. Fill it with a little bit of water. It encourages your cat to get the paw in, and then they'll lick the paw, and that's going to keep them cool. You could have a shallow tray, and that would work just as well, keeping them cool. And you're in Arizona and it's hot. Oh gosh, I really don't know how you cope in hot weather. It's like in the UK, it snows and everything stops, and it gets hot and everything stops. So we're just not prepared for that in this country. So yeah, but you've got your air conditioning going and you're keeping your cats cool. So going back to keeping cats cool, keeping your windows, your shutters closed down, that will really help keep the heat from coming in. Another thing that you can do is, I love these licky mats. I think I mention them every time. So Reno, Nevada in the States. Wow. Vermont is getting warm. Hi, Diane, cat lady. That's a great handle. What I would suggest is, if you've got wet cat food or even some tuna, mash it into your licky mat, pop it in the freezer with a little bit of the tuna water or a little bit of regular water. Pop it in the freezer, bring it out, and there is a little ice lolly for your cat to lick to keep cool. Another thing which is really, really popular, and I think a lot of people already know this one, is your Licky Licks or your churros. This is a happy snack from Fellaway. They're all pretty much the same. They're yogurty treats. Pop them in the freezer and then take them out, peel it all off, and then you can chop that up and put that again on a licky mat. You could even squeeze that onto a licky mat straight away, and then in the freezer it goes. Put a little bit of water in to ease it out, and then they've got a perfect ice lolly to keep them cool. Obviously making sure that they've got plenty of water fountains, making sure they're clean. We mentioned the slime last time, and some of you did the slime test. If you haven't seen that one, it's the one from 2 weeks ago. People were getting back to me afterwards and saying they passed the slime test, so that was absolutely brilliant. Basically, the rule of thumb, if you're going to drink out your cat's, if your cat's bowl is good enough for you to drink out of, then that's okay, but do check it regularly. Anna Maxi, your cat went missing. His name was Carlos. Not sure where he went. Oh, I'm so sorry about that. How long has he been missing? Sometimes cats will, especially in warmer weather, they will go to look for somewhere to hide, to get out of it, and if they're in sheds, garages, things like that, they can get trapped in. So it may be worth leafleting your neighbourhood if that's something that you can do to try and, it depends how long he's been missing, of course, but I really do feel for you. In the UK now, it's mandatory for all cats to be chipped, and that's really important. Not only is it now a legal requirement, but if your cat does get found miles away, then we can reunite cat and parent together. So that's brilliant. Hi, Donna. Okay, your cat's been missing for a couple of months, so I suppose it's the same thing. It's you have to go and check all your vets, and don't give up though. I did a radio interview just before Christmas about a cat that had been missing for years, and it was reunited with its parents. So it was a really, really happy story. So don't give up. Just keep trying, and if your cat is chipped, then hopefully Carlos will be returned back to you. Somebody's in Missouri, 101 degrees. Oh no, that's way too hot. I mean, how do you cope in that heat? It's just terrible. Um, Donna, first time catching the podcast. How much dry food do you give a 2-year-old cat? Well, welcome. And there are more episodes that you can go and catch up on. It all depends on the protein content of the food and and obviously the age of your cat. It is important to feed cat specific food for their age because the kibble tends to be a lot smaller and it's higher in protein. So I would suggest not free feeding. I'm not going to give you a gram or in grams answer because it will all depend on your circumstances. But again, I think rather than feeding in a bowl, to actually put foragers down and get your cat to hunt. And cats are normally pretty good at self-regulating their appetite. They've only got small stomachs. It's about the size of a mouse, which is quite ironic, isn't it? Kittens even smaller, about literally tiny. So they like to eat little and often, and they're more likely to be hungry dusk and dawn because they're crepuscular. So that's when their prey is most active. So I know that doesn't give you a per gram answer, but if you haven't got a greedy cat, then it's a bit like feeding a baby a bottle. You always want to have a little bit extra, and so that that your baby has had enough. So that's what I think for cats too. And if you do notice that on a health check that they are bigger, a good thing to check, and the confirmation as well. Over on my TikTok account, there is a confirmation guide that I've taken from ISFM. And this is really good because it doesn't just judge the cat on the scales, it actually takes into account the overall conformation. For example, if you've got a British Shorthair or a Maine Coon, no way is it going to be 4 kilograms. Likewise, if you've got a Munchkin cat, then that's going to be a lot less. It doesn't mean to say it's underweight. So that's something to think about as well. So take a look at that. Wendy, your cat is not a water drinker. I've tried fountains, different bowls, making some broths. Is it possible he's getting enough hydration from his raw food? Very possible, because obviously there's a lot of water content in the raw food. What you could try doing, I don't know whether you've tried this, is adding extra water into your raw diet. I wanted to show you a little hydration check on Hugo, but he doesn't look like he's going to play just yet, and I want him to. But there's a video called Hydration Check on my TikTok account. Basically, if you just pull up the scruff of the neck gently, if the scruff goes back down very, very quickly, then your cat's hydrated. If it stays up and the fur sticks together either side of the neck, then they really do need urgent water hydration straight away. So try that. There's another thing you could do though, again, with the licky mats. We joined just said, I've never seen a licky mat. Where did you get them? These are dog licky mats from Amazon. So you'll have them in the States as well. A lot of the things I like to use for cats are actually for dogs. So why not? Just it doesn't need a label. If it's going to give the cat some enrichment, then that's really good. So Wendy, I would add some water to the raw food, and if Hugo does come down later, I will show you what the hydration check is. If not, take a look at the video on that. So yeah, we join just have a look at these on Amazon. They're really, really good. And they've got the sucky pads at the back, so you could actually stick them vertically against a wall as well. And they're really good if you're doing claw trimming, or just want to maybe distract your cat because you want to do a health check or groom them or something. They're really, really good. Okay, Animaxa, he is chipped. Probably someone took him in. He's a very friendly cat. That's your guess. You know, that's a double-edged sword, isn't it, really? Because if someone's taken him in, at least you can presume that he's been well looked after. But then it doesn't really help you because you haven't got your boy. But he may still come back. So don't give up hope. And Wendy's saying, "Hope you find him." That's really sweet. Um, yeah, put out posters with a lost cat picture. Just don't, you see it on Facebook all the time, don't you? Lost cat alerts and things like that. What's the best cat litter with no chemicals is that you recommend? Okay, so depends where you are, Donna. I think you can get hold of most of these. There's different type of cat litters, obviously. There's the wood pellets, which I'm not a fan of because of the way that cats can have an aversion to them and then have sort of problems. Hi BD, thank you for joining me. And then there's a bentonite one, so something like Van Cat, Tigerino. All of those are in unscented, everclean. They're really, really good. So for anyone who has ever use clumping cat litter, you'll know that the management is completely different to what it is if you're using wood pellets, and it's really cost effective, even though it costs more to buy in the first instance. It's really, really good, and it does tap into that innate digging that cats like to do. Remember last time, 2 weeks ago, I was saying about Primrose, and she'd had her deep bed of clumping cat litter, and she was playing in it for ages. And cats do like to dig; it makes them feel good. So think about that as well, because very often cat parents will buy cat litter that suits them, suits their budget, and it doesn't necessarily suit the cat. So you're welcome, rejoin. Hope that helps. Hi, Sahil. Lovely to have you all here. Ligma, how do I get my cat from scratching the sides of the litter box rather than cover their litter? Again, this could be the fact that your litter isn't deep enough. So with a clumping cat litter, it's generally about 7 to 10 centimetres. And then obviously it clumps really hard together. You have to take those clumps out and then you replace it. So that's really, really important to do that. So the cat, maybe if it isn't got enough depth and it doesn't like the substrate, it's scratching the side of the litter box rather than carrying out the function in the actual litter. Give that a go, Ligma, and let me know next time. Yes, Wendy, these stick to surfaces, so yeah, they whether you want them that way or that way, that they stick. They're brilliant. So my baby cuteness puked yesterday and it was all yellow in colour, mostly bile. Could you suggest what precautions to take now? Any reason why this happened? On my TikTok account, believe it or not, I've actually done a video on the different colours of puke, vomit. Generally, if it's yellow, it's probably been into the intestines, and it probably, if it's very, very hot, the cat could just have had a little bit too much stomach acid. So cat grass is really good for your cat to reduce stomach acid like that. It's unlikely to be a furball. That tends to be a lot darker in colour, and cats do regurgitate, they do vomit. Sometimes that just be a little bit of bile, and then that's more likely to be stomach acid. And so don't worry too much, but if he keeps consistently being sick, then obviously take veterinary advice, because it could be a food allergy or has he ingested something. But if it was just your baby cuteness that was just sick yesterday, I wouldn't worry too much about it. Just make sure that they're hydrated, okay? Wendy, okay, is there a clumping litter that has no chemicals? So obviously something like the I'm trying to think what they're called, the maize, the corn cat litter, they are all chemical free, and they do clump quite well. So that's something, again, fragrance free. I'm just trying to think what they're called. There's a company called Greenwoods, but I'm not sure if they have it in the States. Also, there is Cat Sand Natural, and I think it's hemp. It might be hemp, so it's organic. That's the word I was looking for. So yes, there are. So give that a search. And if you want to ask a question later on the end of the video, I'll pop some ideas in there for you. And that's for anybody. If you want to ask a question later on, just we'll get round to it eventually, I promise. Hi, Sangamitra. My clingy kitty is emotionally connected only with me. How can I keep her emotionally healthy if I stay out of town for a longer period? It's really normal that cats have a preferred individual. This could be another feline, or it could be a human. So I would think if you can pop some of your pajamas or whatever you wear to sleep in, pop them in a freezer bag, and I know it sounds daft, and put them in the freezer, it will actually get the scent of you, especially if you've worn it for quite a long time. And then your caregiver who's replacing you whilst you're out of town, they can bring that out, and then they can have fresh sense of you. Always think about their welfare in terms of pet remedy in the home, comfort zone or Felloway Optimum, things like that. That's your pheromone, synthetic pheromone support, and that's phytotherapy. So that's almost like aromatherapy for cats, but that sounds a bit too easy, doesn't it? But phytotherapy is the term for it. So I would do that. And also, if your caregiver that's going to be popping in to look after your kitty can think about the enrichment, and again, foragers. I'm sure I come on here, and if I had £1 or $1 for every time I say foragers, I'd be really rich. So that's what I would do, is think about what you can do, and maybe put your ideas for each day, so the toys get rotated, so your caregiver can go, okay, this is for day 1, this is day 2, and then the toys get rotated, so every day is a little bit different for your cat. But it's great that you're even thinking like that as well, because cats do get bored, so that's brilliant. Nancy, you've asked it before and you couldn't find it. Can you put it in the comments when the video finishes, and then I'll pop you the link on there so that you can get it, okay? Ligma, what's better, regular catnip or silvervine? They're both very different. Catnip is Nepeta cataria, and that is a cat stimulant. So if you've got your cat attractant herbs, you've got a stimulant here, up here, called, that's your catnip. You've got valerian down here, which is very soporific and calming, and then you've got silvervine or matatabi, which is down here. And for anybody who doesn't know what matatabi, the sticks look like, they're these little sticks here, and you can give them to your cats quite safely. They'll just pick them up, they'll chew them, they'll walk away, they'll leave them, they'll come back to them. They're great because that gives them a great bit of jaw exercise and helps lubricate the gums, and also cleans the teeth at the same time. So that's really good. So if anybody doesn't know what matatabi is, you do now. BD, we've got the cat paddling pool out now. We're putting treats in and bottle lids. That's right. I knew there was something else I wanted to say about that. So what Beverly, or BD as I know her, because she's my moderator, my fantastic moderator when I go live on TikTok, where have I put my pool? When you have the kitty pool, if you have your bottle tops off your soda or whatever, pop a little treat in your bottle top and let it float on the water, and the cats, again, they're going to play with that. So Goose has been playing with that. That's brilliant. How much exercise, Sahil? How much exercise is needed for a kitten roughly 8 to 10 months old? As much as the kitten wants, really. Again, they're probably going to want a lot of sleep still. They're still growing. And if you can give their enrichment in short bursts, you haven't got to be playing till they're panting. Some people think, they've got to be playing with the cat for half an hour. And certainly in hot weather, you don't want to be doing that. So be cat led. That's something else that I'm always saying. Be cat led and go with your cat. If you can offer play before food, that's the ideal, because then that taps into the predatory hunt kill, eat, drive. Okay, so that would be good. Go with short bursts, and if your cat's panting, stop playing straight away. Yeah, Amamax said different colours of vomit. I promise you, it's on my TikTok. I think I start off that video by saying, just when I thought I couldn't do a video of anything else, here comes along a vomit colour chart. Um, uh, Jay Freeman, you need a mouse head stew recipe. Oh, that doesn't sound too tasty, but then I don't like mice, so maybe, you know, maybe your cat will appreciate a stew recipe. Tell you what else they do like. They like freeze-dried rabbit ears. They're very, very nice. Oh, it's in there, Nancy. Have I missed your question? Sorry, all these questions are coming in so quickly now, and I've missed them. Oh, your cat, thank you, Nancy, I found it now. Your cat tends to bite when I pet her. In the beginning she would bite with breaking the skin, not anymore. What do I do? How do you stop that? Thank you. This is a really, really great question, Nancy. So for anybody who has had a kitten and maybe played with them a little bit inappropriately, you know, it's fun when they're little and they're, you know, little teeth. I said this last time. And if you've got a cat then that then thinks that's normal and accepted behavior, they're going to carry on playing like that. So what do you do? So read the body language, and if your cat is coming towards you, Nancy, and you know that by her body language her pupils will be dilated, she may go into predatory mode, then I would actually leave the room or shut down your body language by turning away. One thing you can do, though, is think about appropriate play. So arm's length, one toy. So increase your enrichment by using these sort of things. And a kicker. Kickers are really good. Don't use any catnip, though, because as I've just said, catnip is a stimulant. So for anybody who's got an aggressive cat, stay away from catnip. What you want to be using, you want to be using the pet remedy, or a valerian spray, but no catnip. And then just give her short little fusses and then stop. It may be that she's getting overstimulated as well, and think about you know, your overstimulation, and think about what types of enrichment you're giving her. Nancy, if you go on the TikTok, there's on my account, there's playlists that run all along, and there's one called Aggression, and that is full of all tips and videos just on feline aggression. And if you don't know how to find the playlist, there's a video that I've done last week, and it said just for you. It's called Just for You, and that tells you how to find the playlist. So I hope that helps. And I'm sorry I missed your question. So here we go. What else have we got there? So yeah, you're in the States, different colours of vomit, mouse head stew. Hi Rissa, how are you? You're in Florida. Oh wow, I bet that's lovely. Wendy says hi, Rissa, as well. So Phoebe's mom, Com and Cassiva, have I said that right? Cassava litter in the USA is sustainably yours. Okay, it's great. Okay, that's brilliant. As long as it's unscented, then that's great. Wendy, yes, it is true. There is a percentage of some cats that don't care. They are not triggered by the catnip. One of my videos I've just done, it actually is just picking my own Napita, bruising it, and give it to the cats, and they like but all of my cats react to it. Basil maybe not so much now because he's geriatric. He's in you can't see him, but he's in one of the little beds down here, and he's wiped out as well. So I've got 5 cats up here with me, and you can only see one, and it's just so warm for them. So hi Kelly, thank you for joining today. And what are you saying? Just, oh, your cat's got worms. How do I get rid of them? Or will they get on me? So you need to worm your cat, Kelly. It's really important. So if you pop along to your vet, they will give you some worming tablets to eradicate all of those worms. Don't buy them over the counter. There are a few companies here in the UK. I don't know if you have them where you can just literally go to your dollar store and you can buy them. Don't buy those because some cats do have adverse reactions to them and they don't work anyway. So make sure that you get your wormer, and it'll be really, really quick that it gets rid of the worms. So especially if you've got, you know, pregnant ladies or young children, you're feeding the worms basically, because the worms are taking all of the good food and they can make them quite ill. And there's all different types of worms. So yeah, make sure you get a multi wormer, but take your vet advice there. Okay. You're welcome. Your cat, Rissa, your cat is obsessed with water play, sprinkles with silverline, and throw a little balls in there. It's hilarious. Yeah, it is, and it's a great way that they're hunting in water, aren't they? And so I think it's a myth that cats don't like water. I think they enjoy play. Metro, hi, welcome for joining. You've got an elderly cat who's been treated for hypothyroidism. He's now pooping outside of the litter box at night. He looks for smooth places like in the tub. How can you fix it? Okay, so I can address the behavioural aspect of that. And if you've got an elderly cat, I would say that he's probably a little bit arthritic and finds it difficult to lift his legs up to get into the litter tray. So there are things called dog toilets, and they're basically like a tray based but they come with some grass on the top. Take the grass out, and what you've got is a very, very shallow tray. You could even use a one of those planting troughs, where potting up troughs. That's what I want to use. Say so they've got a high back, and the sides taper down, and a low, shallow front, and you could put your litter in there. Again, if you want to message on the chat afterwards in the comments when this video is ended, I'll put some links of what I mean in there. Okay, and I've got a geriatric playlist over on my TikTok account as well, and there may be some tips in there for you. Also, something like Easy Pill, that's really good. I speak to your vet about that, but that's good for older cats. And also You Move, as well as obviously salmon oil. I've got some salmon oil. It's a bit salmony, oily down there, but salmon oil in the diet as well can really help. Just like we need musculoskeletal help as we age, cats are the same. So I hope that helps. Okay, but do have a look for the dog toilets on Amazon. I'd not seen one before, and I've used them quite a lot in different behaviour plans with geriatric cats, and they've been quite successful. I've just realised what I said. I've not used them before. No, I personally haven't used a dog toilet. Right, so Phoebe's mum, your sweet Phoebe loves to groom you by licking your hair. Are there any hair products that you should avoid? I think anything that's sticky, hairspray, hair gel. I mean, she's not going to be ingesting it, but clean hair is probably the way to go. And cats are actually attracted to freshly washed hair, of the smell, and because you smell differently, and they want to pass their scent on to you. So if that makes sense. So I would try and avoid letting her lick your hair if you've got any styling products on, just to be on the safe side. Rissa, your kitty also gets overstimulated when you pet for more than 5 seconds. Oh yeah, okay. So again, be cat led there, and some cats don't want to be petted. So if you're literally going to stroke your kitty, Rissa, and she's going for you, don't bother. Show your love and affection in other ways. Show it in the way that you care for her, with the way you place out your food, the toys that you give her, the enrichment that you provide, and so on. And hopefully that'll perhaps settle. Less is more, I think, with cats, especially if you've got a really overstimulated and excitable cat. DZ, hello. Chicken allergy very severe. I found one kibble that works. Farm in Ocean. Cats, believe it or not, can have food allergies, and studies have shown that 90%. It's really high of cases of cats going bald or digestive problems, skin problems, asthma, things like that are caused by the diet, allergens in the diet. So it is always worth trying a hydrolyzed diet if you can, and search for those. There are plenty, but it could be that you know, you've got a cat that's allergic to chicken, or it could be allergic to fish. So it is a process of elimination, but trying a hydrolyzed diet will really help first. BD, yeah, totally. Your biggest rule when yours were kittens were hands are not toys. Yeah, hands are jewels, they're not tools. They use the toys are the tools. So yeah, that's really important. Gabby, you've got 4 cats. Your oldest girl is 13 and the oldest boy is 7. They've started fighting out of nowhere when I moved into my new house. I've no idea why. They've always lived together. My felloways help tons. Yeah, I mean, that sounds like you've got 2 stressed cats actually. And when if they're feeling stressed and anxious because they've moved out of their regular home, it's a big deal for a cat moving its environment because they're creatures of habit and they like their routine. So they've been taken out of one home into another, and it's going to take them a while to settle. So putting your Felloway Optimum, your comfort zone, and using Pet Remedy too, that's really important because they're both coming at different angles to help calm the cats. Now, if you've seen my videos before, you will probably have seen that I've brought out the Anxitane, which is an amino acid. Now, little hack here for you. Go and buy some theanine, human theanine, and just get a little bit of, should be a spoon in here, little bit of powder, and add it to the food. So it's quite cost effective. I just want to show you what it looks like. You see? So I would just sprinkle that much into some food. It's all over my hands now. And that will really help calm them down as well. So it's a cheaper alternative and lasts longer than Anxitane if you can't get that. So I hope that helps. As well as that, Gabby, if you can look at the enrichment, giving them cardboard boxes to hide, make sure they've got safe spaces, and tall perches as well. So if you haven't got a cat wall, I think it might be worth investing into some cat wall shelves. Just that you can see how Hugo's sitting up there. Cats are naturally drawn to high places, and that will just really help them feel secure. And if you don't want it to be a permanent structure, you can take it down and fill the wall afterwards anyway, but it will really help them, I promise. So Nancy says, well, thank you. You're very welcome, Nancy. I'm glad I answered your question and I didn't miss you. Totty, hello again. Oh, Basil's just coming to say hello. When it becomes too much cat throwing up. So if your cat is throwing up too much, you know, literally again and again and again, then that's something that you need to go and, you know, speak to your vet about, because that's really not good, because they'll get dehydrated and then it may be that they have to go to a vet. So this is Basil. He's 17. I wonder if he'll let me do the little hydration check on him. So I'm just gently pulling that little bit of fold of skin. You see how it's gone straight back down? If he was dehydrated, it would stay up like that, but he's not. He's lovely and hydrated. And I did say that I would do an easy medication trick for you. So imagine you've got to give your cat some Metacam or antibiotics or anything, don't know. How about getting them used to the syringe in the mouth? So, and one day, so this is Licky Licks in here. So he's quite used to, in fact, all of my cats are quite used to having a syringe in the mouth. So the one day that they do need some anti-inflammatory, they're just going to go, oh, great. Oh, that tasted a bit funny. And then you can quickly top it up. He's really loving that. So there you go. That's your easy medication tip for making sure, I feel like I'm feeding a baby here, that you can make sure that you can feed your cats. And also getting more water in them, add water to that as well. So they're going to be then having plenty of water as well. So devious voltage, I love that handle. That's brilliant. Rissa, not lovely where they're here. It's like 105 here with humidity. It's absolutely horrid, but we'll go to the pool around 7. Oh, that sounds idyllic. That sounds really, really nice. So my ragdoll couldn't care less about catnip or silvervine. I kind of wish he would like it. Just another fun thing for him. Okay, Wendy. In the UK, we've got a brilliant I know I shouldn't keep going on about stuff in the UK because then it's not fair if you can't get it. But if you go over on Facebook and look for Happy Kitty blankets, they will post to the UK. And that is basically, I can't show you now because I've got Basil on my knee, but it's basically a linen cloth in there that's encased around a little muslin tea bag. And in that tea bag is lots of 5 actually different cat attractants. And those cat attractants, they bring out what the cats need. So cats, there's something called zoopharmacognosy, where a cat in the wild will go and seek to self-medicate any for its ailments, for its emotions, using different plants. So you could give a cat a happy kitty blanket one day, perhaps if it's feeling like it wants to play, and it is catnip free, but there's another stimulant in there that will encourage the cat to play. Could be that you give it one another day and it doesn't want to play, it just wants to sit and hug the blanket, and that's all it wants to do. So I did a video with Basil and he just sat on it, and then I gave it to one of the Bengals and they nearly ripped it to shreds, and then carry it round like Linus out of Snoopy, and then start dragging it round. They're really, really funny. So it's normal for some cats not to like it. Okay, Donna, you haven't neutered your cat. She's an indoor cat. Should I neuter? Absolutely. For lots of different reasons. So just because your cat's an indoor cat, it doesn't mean to say that you shouldn't neuter them because they're not going to get pregnant. They're going to go through an emotional roller coaster every time they're in heat, or when they're coming to estrus, and they're going to get frustrated because all of their instincts, their hormones are going to be driving them to mate, and they're going to get very, very frustrated. So you'll have the calling. Some cats, female cats, will spray, they will urinate around the house. So just for you it's really unpleasant, let alone the female cat. And another reason, I mean, you can speak to your vet about this, but they can develop a uterine problem called pyometra, and that can be fatal, really, really serious. So if it was me, I would always neuter a cat for those 2 reasons alone, and you're going to find that you're going to have a much happier cat. So how old is she, Donna? I mean, I know they do prepubescent neutering now, really, really young, but they can neuter at any age. So Nancy, your cat loves Silvervine. Is it okay to give her that instead of catnip? Absolutely. Of course it is. It's not a heavy stimulant. I feel like I'm talking about drugs here, but it's not a heavy stimulant. It's just going to be middle of the road, and it just incites some sort of play. It's really, really good. Living in the grey area. Hi, welcome to see you. Happy to catch some of my live. Please go back, and all of you, please, please, please give the video a like. That would be great. And again, any questions? Mama Bunny and Tosh, hello. Thanks for all the great info. We recently had to evacuate for a fire, all safe, but left with 3 cats and a dog. Oh my gosh, that's so scary. I'm glad you're all safe, and I love watching your videos with Bunny and Tosh as well. So lovely, and great to have you here. So yeah, give this video a like, and if you want to share it, then please do. And I think I'll be back in a couple of weeks as well. We're going to get into a regular Cat Chat Tuesday, and then hopefully I will get to know you guys as well, because there's only one of me, but there's lots of you watching, so that's amazing. Gabby's saying, yeah, you should always neuter and spay your indoor cats, or absolutely, it is really important, but no blaming or shaming here. It's all education, and there is no such thing as the wrong question to ask. Ear cleaning, J. Freeman, ear cleaning with water only or with a few drops of hydrogen peroxide added is not toxic. I know oils are mostly toxic. Any advice for gentle ear cleaning is also appreciated. Well, I can totally relate to this because that's what I've been doing recently. I did notice that Noodle, the fluffy ginger boy, had got a little bit of dirt in his ear. So I went on and got some specific ear drops for cats from a pet pharmacy online. Haven't got them with me up here, sadly, but I will perhaps bring them up next time. And it's just about, if you can sit your cat on your knee or have your arm over like that, pull the ear back. Basil's gone now, so I can't show you, but he did let me do that, no problem. Drop a few drops in. I wouldn't do water, I wouldn't do hydrogen peroxide, I would only use specific ear cleaning drops for cats, and you can get those from online pharmacies or Amazon. And then massage the base of the ear really well, and then get a small cotton ball. They say use Q-tips. I've watched a few videos of vets over in the States and they say to use Q-tips. I think that's okay for a vet to do because they know the anatomy really well, but I think for a pet parent, I think it would be better advice just to use a cotton ball, a wool ball, and then gently wipe out that and keep wiping, and do that maybe twice a day for about 5 days. May also be worth checking with your vet just to check that there's no ear mites there. And cats can get a really nasty yeasty fungal infection as well, which is really hard to get rid of, and that requires specific treatment, so it's worth checking with your vet. So a lot of you are in the States, actually. So here, what would I suggest for your little baby cuteness if he has gingivitis? I would say teeth cleaning. So have you been to your vets? Your vets can give you some advice. It may be that your cat needs some dental work, but I don't know how old your cat is, but certainly brushing your cat's teeth with a specific they're almost like a thimble that you pop onto your finger, and then you just literally put them in with proper cat toothpaste. So that's what I would be doing, and then obviously encouraging mouthing with something like that to get them to chew as well. Again, freeze-dried rabbit ears can help. Some of these stinky fish, do you remember me bringing these out before? That one looks particularly horrible. Sorry if this offends anybody, but things like that are really, these are freeze-dried sprats. So anything that is really going to encourage your cats to crunch. The diet as well, giving a soft and dry diet would be better if you're only giving wet diet. Raw diet tends to have lots of sort of granular bones in there as well, which do a bit of teeth cleaning as well. So give that a go. If cats are obligate carnivores, why do they develop protein allergies? That's a great question. It's not. Sometimes it's what's in the food as well, maybe the additives and the preservatives. And it's like anything. They're mammals. We can have allergies to certain foods as well. Just really don't know. It's the autoimmune system that obviously plays havoc, and they just reject it. So it's just about finding, if you can find out what the allergen is, and then avoiding it. And then you can always perhaps reintroduce it afterwards. I don't know where Basil thinks he's going now. You don't want a nice shot of Basil's bottom, do you? Why did my cat, hi Slavic Queen, why did my cat what did he try and say when he rubbed his face on my legs? He's actually scenting you. It's called aloe rubbing, and he's rubbing his natural pheromone scent here from his facial glands. He's rubbing that against you to imprint his scent on you, and he's picking up yours as well. So it's a term of endearment, and it's very, very nice. So that's lovely. Living in the grey area, we were evacuated. Our sweet girl Bunny was not happy with the other two cats, even her brother. She was hissing at a lot. We were in a small place and somewhere she'd never been. Gosh, that must be so terrifying if you're in an area where you know there's going to be fires and things and you have to get evacuated. I guess you all have your cat boxes by the front door, do you, at this time of year when it gets really hot? And that's really important to make sure then that your cats are going to not resist going into your cat boxes. So if you can make the cat box a safe space by training them with classical conditioning and rewarding them going in there, that would be really good. So Rissa, you can't afford wet food consistently for your kitty, so to replace that water, I've been making it into a sort of kibble soup. Does this in any way compensate? It's basically, Rissa, what you're doing, you're rehydrating your dried food, and that's fine. It will, as long as you're getting that water into your cat. That's the best. That's the best thing. But you know, the things that we've talked about, so the licky licks, tuna water, anything like that you can get into your cat to hydrate them, because they are descendants of desert creatures, so it's not in their nature to want to drink such a lot. But obviously with modern day living, not their ancestral living, their diets and their lifestyles are very, very different. So it's really important that they don't get strain and stress on their kidneys, that they get plenty of water. So I hope that helps. How many times a day do you feed your cats Totty Totty? Okay, so I feed mine 3 times. 3 times a day, but they also have foragers down as well. So they'll have these sort of things hidden around the place, and then they've got their I've got a different one to show you here. This is just an Amazon basic one, but the Nina Otterson range are fantastic. So again, there's different, you can see there's different areas that the cat's got to navigate to get the treats out. So they do have free access, but this time of year, when it gets warm, they're not going to want to eat a lot. So yeah, Rissa's saying, Slavic Queen, your kitty is marking you with their scent. They love you. They do indeed. And you're from Thailand. Oh, gosh. Oh, beautiful, Basil. Thanks, Phoebe. So we've got people from India, from Thailand, from Florida, Missouri. I haven't seen anybody in the UK yet that's popped up. All over the States, wasn't there? Oh, you're welcome for the hydration test. I'm glad I got there in the end. And actually, Basil has showed you the medicating thing as well. Hugo's jumped off now. So I tell you what else I did want to show you that I'm working on with Hugo. Have you seen these My Dog Speaks and things? So these are the recording buzzers. So oh, that's one that's been recorded earlier. So basically, I've recorded different things on these, and I'm teaching Hugo to press the buttons to get what he wants. So now he thinks he's going to get a dreamy. So, but they're really good. It's a great way to have a bit of fun if you've got children, or if you just want to train your cats to communicate with you. Those are brilliant. And obviously now you all know that I've been asking Hugo to give me a kiss. What you're saying, BD, Elaine, you may need some additional nutrients when you're feeding them real meat. Oh, absolutely. Have I missed something there? If you are just feeding raw meat, BD's quite right. You've got to give cats other nutrients such as taurine. On my TikTok video playlist on food and diet, there's a list. I think there's about 18 different nutrients that they need for it to be a complete meal. So if, for example, you just had tin tuna like this, even if it says cat food tuna loin flakes, that is not complete. That is just tuna. The cat is going to need more nutrients as well, and that's what they'll get in a specific cat food. So hi from California. Kaz in Cali. That's a great handle as well. You've got 5 former feral cats and one's got very fat. How do I keep her from eating everyone's food? So I think you're just going to have to feed her separately. I know that sounds a bit easy, but if that's possible, let the other cats eat first, unless you've got one of they're really expensive though, those chip feeders. That would stop her eating everybody else's food, but then that's the bowl, isn't it? And you guys probably know what I feel about the bowl. It's bin that bowl, we don't want it. So if you can look at your diet as well, not your diet, but your cat's diet, are they on something that is going to have a low fat, low carb sort of diet, and try and increase the exercise. So again, foraging, making your cat work for her food, that's really going to help and reduce her intake and to try and stop her getting at all the others. It's really difficult in a multi-cat household. That is very, very difficult. So your attractant info, the valerian didn't work also. Gosh, Wendy, it's really difficult then. So now Basil's gone, I'll just show you quickly what the kitty blanket looks like. If you could get one posted. So these are the little bags, and there's 5 different herbs in there, patented. So I don't know what's in them. And then literally you take them out, you give your cat the blanket, they play with that. And then what I tend to do is, if I've got a little soft toy, pop that in the jar, and then that gets infused with the same smell, and then they have that for about 10-20 minutes. Hugo's gone straight to it. Have it for about 20 minutes, pick it up, put it back in the jar. So hopefully that works. Slavic Queen, it's really hot in Thailand. Oh gosh, you're making me feel like a real wuss now. I'm complaining because it's 25 degrees. Is it true that they have to be in heat first before they're helped? No, Totty Totty, it isn't. No. Different with dogs. When dogs are spayed, it's critical at the period time of when they are spayed. With cats, no. You've got to speak to your vet about that, and no, they don't need to have a heat. I think that's an old wives' tale actually, or an urban myth or something. Slavic Queen, your cat is an orange male Persian. He's 10. Oh, really, really lovely. Orange Persians. Has he got those gorgeous amber eyes? Because they normally do. Show us your cat. Ligma, do you want to see my cat? He's been up there, and then you've just seen, Basil's gone back in his little box in there. And there's another 3 milling about, but they've all just gone cataplunk, if that's a word. Means they're hot. Please let me know what other nutrients I should add to the diet. And yes, they eat fish and chicken only the whole time, 100 grams per day. They look bright and their hair become very soft now. Elaine, if you go onto my TikTok account on the food and diet list playlist, you'll see all the list of nutrients that they need, from taurine, L-tryptophan, all sorts that they need. So don't panic too much, but it's not good for your cat just to eat just fish and chicken, even though you probably think that they're eating the best diet. Not the best, so they will need other things as well. Hi Bev, nice to have you here. Dexter 5 always raises his butt peeing in the litter box. Last year he's slowly swinging his butt around too, and it got worse. Is it stress induced? I was quite stressed. We're both improved now. I wouldn't have thought so. This sounds like he's spraying or doing a vertical pee in the box. Some cats, come on then, Hugo, come on. Some cats do like to do a vertical pee. So don't worry about it too much. But one thing that is very, very accurate, what you've said, if we as their caregivers get stressed, we can project our stress onto them, and the cats can smell our hormones. And so when our levels of adrenaline or cortisol rise, the cats are going to have that. They're gonna feel our stress. We're going to behave differently, and cats are so used to reading micro signals from other cats. They read our micro body signals as well that we're not even aware. There's these body language experts that say, oh, look at the way they blink then, or they looked up then. That means something. 9 times out of 10, nobody even is aware that they're doing that, but cats are aware. Really. Plaque off, yeah, that's a heel. That's plaque off, is you can use that as toothpaste, or the treats. I haven't had much success with the tablets. I'll be honest. Those little treat things. I think it's better. Nothing can compensate for literally. Now Hugo's going to show you. You've got to imagine that's thimble going in there, and oh, let's see your teeth. Look at those lovely teeth. You see, he's quite amenable to that, because that's how I started him, doing just literally massaging his mouth. Oh, he's so nice, and he thinks it's affection. It is affection. And then I can get the finger brush in there as well. So Animax, so why don't they have mouse cat food? Do you know what? I know that that's a joke. People say that as well, don't they? But that is, a cat wouldn't just only eat mice. It would eat a varied species, choice. It would like a menu. So if it went into the cat menu, it would want different types of rodents and things to eat, and birds, that not just mice. You're very welcome, Sahil. How do you find me on social media handles? It's Kitty City Cat Behaviourist. So Kitty with a K and City with an S, not a C. So that's where you can find me on there. And as I say, those playlists, I'm quite religious in. Every time I do a new video, I make sure they go into the right playlist. Wendy, there is actually a company that does have mouse in its ingredients. Oh, it's called Mouser. Well, I didn't know that. Every day's a school day. I'm going to look for that then, Wendy, to see. I don't know what that. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about feeding my cat mice. Oh, dear, she says, with a jar full of freeze-dried sprats. Nancy, you've always had a cat fountain for your cats, and now your cat loves it and drinks enough during the day. That's brilliant. Oh, one thing that I wanted to say, and I probably say it every time, but anybody who doesn't know, don't put food next to water, because cats will instinctively, innately believe that the water source is contaminated from the food. So for anybody who is serving water next to food, there's nothing there. That's a no. Separate them, and your cat will thank you for it. Your Tuxie cat, hi Diana, your Tuxie cat occasionally attacks your arms and legs and has left me with many bite and scratch wounds. I don't know what causes him to bite me. Again, I don't know whether you were watching when I mentioned this earlier. I think if not, go back and watch it. But I think it's likely that it's overstimulated. He could be frustrated. Look at the amount of enrichment that you're providing. Don't just think a cat is just a cat that sits around and does nothing. They need regular stimulation. So if you think I'm training Hugo on these buttons, they are trainable. They're very, very clever. So make sure that you're playing with your cat in different ways as well, not just the wand, hiding things, tunnels, robotic toys. There's all sorts of different toys on the market that you can give your cats. And also I've mentioned, oh, it's all over my leg. I think Basil was a bit neater at having that than you. If that was medicine, we'd have failed then, wouldn't we? So I would look at that. If your cat is really aggressive, Diana, then I think it's worth getting vet checked first as well, okay? Just to rule out any underlying health conditions. Living in the grey area, use carriers from your cat backpack. They helped us so much. Of course, you put this, because this is when we were talking about getting away quickly, weren't we? Evacuating. And Wendy, you're in Connecticut. Okay. Donna's in San Francisco, California. You found that? Oh, brilliant. Okay. So Wendy's found the Happy Kitty Blankets Facebook page. JJ, your cat has no teeth, but he's fat now. Should I only feed him a meat diet? I would be giving him a soft diet, obviously. So anything, even if it's a dry diet, if you can rehydrate it, then that would be fine, and add plenty of water. Living in the grey area, what would you recommend for somebody who has 6 TNRs, trap neuter release, who wants to eventually rehome 2 to 4 of them in pairs. I've worked on their temperament and even picking a couple up. We have 3 inside. It's slow and steady, with the ferals, and then making sure that they go to an area that's going to be suitable. They're not going to want to live in a 2 up, 2 down or small caravan or something. So it can be done, and they're then called in between the cats. So they are feral cats that then aren't quite domesticated, so they're somewhere in between, and their welfare needs are a little bit different. If you go onto the ISFM website and Google in between a catch, you'll get some great hints and tips from them. You're not sure if you start getting them shots, but don't want to scare them. It's a difficult one, that is, because they will have a level of immunity anyway, and I think if they're going to live as in between a cats, I don't think it's fair to domesticate them. That's my personal opinion on that, because it would stress them. If you're going to have them as house cats, then they're not going to go outside, are they? So is there a need then? But again, discuss that with your veterinary surgeon. Only one's been coming in at all, and the short spurts to eat, and that's Bunny and Tosh's mom. Got you. Okay. They're 4 years old, roughly, all 6 of them. Gosh, you've got your house full. I would read the information on in betweener cats and carefully consider whether it's the right thing, and speak to your vet about that. Is it the right thing to go and vaccinate them? Do they need it? Do they need the stress of being vaccinated? What is their liability like of getting other diseases? If they've been neutered, which they have, they're not going to likely to go off fighting or looking for mates and getting into fights that way. So that's probably that negates another high risk, doesn't it? The mouse food is chicken and its main ingredient, Wendy said. Well, who'd have thought? So that's false advertising, isn't it? They shouldn't do that. Your kitten was purring loudly, but now not anymore. Don't worry, Totty. Some kittens do chug a lot as they're little, and then all of a sudden they don't seem to purr as much, or they still will be purring, but you just can't hear them. Bev, can you train Dexter not to vertically pee by rewarding him when you see him squatting? I have to wash the box very frequently. No, I don't think he will. I don't think he'll understand the correlation between vertically peeing or squatting. I think he's doing what he wants to do. If it is that he's spraying, if he's stressed for whatever reason, I'd look at the litter, I think, here, and I think I'd make sure I've got a really nice substrate, soft substrate in there, great big tray, high sides. The mod cats do brilliant cat litter trays, really, really big, and maybe worth trying that. But I'd want to know what litter you've got, actually. If you can drop me a comment at the end of this live in the comments, and I'll literally, I promise you, even if it isn't today, it'll be the next day or the day after. I'll go through it and I answer every single question. Okay. Right, I'm going to get ready to wrap up now, but J Ray, you've got a silly question. No question is ever silly. Yeah, as BD says, of course. Oh, BD, you're even modding on here for me now. I love that. Yeah, go ahead. I'll answer, J Ray, I'll answer your silly question, but there's no silly question. Everyone can cross Silly Bridge. And Silly Bridge is where we start off not knowing something, we walk across the bridge, and then we find the answer at the other end. I just hope I can give you the answer now. My cat does a little moonwalk before he drinks his water. He stands in front of the bowl and does a silly little dance with his arms before he drinks. Oh, why is this? He's never not done it. There you go. I don't know. It's just maybe something that is just he maybe before you had him, did he maybe have to do something with his paws to maybe get his other cats out of the way from the bowl? It's learned behavior, whatever it is. So something has happened to him previously that he has learned that that's what he has to do. It may even be a type of compulsive disorder. I say compulsive disorder. It's not a disorder as long as he's drinking. Don't worry about it. But I'd love to see a video of that. Really would. So send me a video of him doing that on my Instagram account, please. I really want to see that. Back onto the mouse. Wendy, they've got tomato paste in it, and I wonder, that's a palatability enhancer. That's why that's in there. Tosh goes into a little daze and licks air. Oh, I've seen the video of Tosh doing that. That's really funny when he does that. Absolutely, we have to do that. So share, if you share that on my Instagram account, I'll actually put it up there, because I think we all need to see J Ray's moonwalking cat. So so Siona Kitty does the water dance too, so I need to see that as well. There is a woman on YouTube who buys dead mice for her cat. Well, Nancy, I know you're saying, but in terms of enrichment, if you've got an indoor cat, it's not everybody's cup of tea, but if you've got something like a Bengal or a Serval or something like that, then a humanely killed prey does have a role to play. And you probably heard me mention about the freeze-dried rabbit ears. Well, cats will crunch on them. It's really good for their teeth. It's great for their enrichment because it's got the smell, the texture. And if you tie a little bit of twine around it, it acts as a lure, and that's giving them amazing enrichment. And the way I look at that, then the mouse hasn't gone through any stress or trauma because it's been humanely killed. It is nature though, isn't it? And I understand it's not for everybody, so don't worry if that's not something that appeals to you. Anyway, everybody, I've gone over again. I always do. So I'd like to say thank you so much for joining me. And don't forget, if you're in the UK, tickets for Cat Show Live are now on sale, and Cat Show Live is the 14th of September. And I did give a little hint that there may be a little bit of a teaser for you people in the States who want to see it. I still can't release that information, but please come back, and as soon as I can, I'll be so excited to tell you anyway. So it's bye from me. It's bye from Hugo. I mean, Hugo can wave. I don't know whether he's going to. Hugo, you're going to wave. You're going to wave. You're going to sit up and wave. No, but I promise you, I'm not going crazy. He does wave, he does high five, and then he'll wave. So it's a goodbye from me in the cat house here. It's lovely to have you all here. Remember, please give me one of those hearts. Is that right? Yeah. On this live, and comments, and I will go back and answer and pop any links or anything that I need to do. So keep tuned for the next one, and hopefully I will see you in 2 weeks, and I will put lots of notices up ahead as soon as I get them notification from cats.com. And don't forget to give cats.com a like and a follow. Lots of information on there. And you're welcome, Wendy. Bye, Hugo. Meow for now. Oh, that's right. That's what I always say, isn't it, BD? Meow for now. Bye, everybody. Thanks for joining me.